Thank you, Nan. When Nan sent an email to us asking for a volunteer for a speech, I was immediately interested. However, it was not easy to find good reason for that. So why me? I was trying to find a convincing reason to talk to you, and particularly on behalf of you. It was hard, and then I just made it up. Among us all, I believe I am the one who spent the longest time in Wollongong. I came here in 2007 as a visiting fellow and started my PhD in 2008. In addition, I did my master degree in UNSW in Sydney in 2004, 2006. So in total, I have been in this country for more than 8 years now. I want to talk briefly about what I have been studying these last 8 years. Border issues, and I'll try to relate it with friendship, education, and change. I started to learn the law, technology, and methods establishing borders between countries. Borders are important. Then I started to discover interesting phenomena concerning borders. If you are my age or older, you know that Berlin Wall fell down in 1989, and in 1990 people started to use the term borderless world. Borders are no longer important. In 2010, I went to Monaco for a conference, so thanks to AusAid. After 2 days eating only pasta and pizza, my Asian stomach started to complain, and I needed rice. I asked the organizer, and he gave me an address of a Thai restaurant. I checked it on my iPhone, so 7 minutes walking. Off I went and had the best meal in the world. Now this is the interesting part. The day after that, I discovered that the restaurant was in France. So 7 minutes walk from one country to another. What an experience. You know, we live in Australia, so 5 hours flight from Sydney, we only reach Perth. So Kenichi Omai, it's true that we live in a borderless world. However, I also visited Pyongyang one day. Yes, North Korea. I went to Panmunjom demilitarized zone. I saw blue buildings settled on 2 countries, exactly on the borderline. I was lucky, allowed to enter the building, and it was a negotiating room. I still remember long tables were arranged in such a way in the middle of the room. Some microphones were there, some facing north and others facing south. Imagine, the cable was sticky taped exactly in the middle of the table following the borderline. Outside, I could see soldiers were ready with their guns, and this scene is something you see every day. I have been to the most heavily guarded borders in the world, 24/7. Similarly, we have witnessed border disputes in many places: Indonesia and its 10 neighbors, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Slovenia and Croatia, Thailand, Cambodia, and many others. Simply speaking, in a so-called borderless world, borders do matter and they still dictate. Since then, I've always believed that borders are important. That's why I'm here doing my PhD on it. So to me, the world is a completed mosaic. It is one, but it is constructed by different pieces, and there are borders between those pieces. I see different countries, different ethnicities, different cultures, different people, different religions, and all other differences. This is confirmed by my experience meeting with friends from around the world in a family we call AusAid. This somehow contributes to the evolution of me seeing the world. The world I see, or the world I used to know, was a big one but blank. Maybe because I was intellectually blind. Then I discovered one day that the world is colorful and busy but untouchable to me. I knew there were a lot of things, but mysterious. After my interaction with my Aussie friends, I started seeing dots in different places that I am familiar with. I started to know all of you. We may not know each other personally, but somehow I could feel the connection. This is what I call friendship, that makes me see the world as a completely different place to live in, a connected world. Now, I have managed to understand the importance of borders and build global friendship with bright people around the world like you. The question is, what is next? I imagined myself changing the world when I came to Australia for the first time. I had with me a lot of things in my head that I would do this and that. However, when I went back to Indonesia in 2006 for a short period of time, the situation was different. Honestly, it was not as easy as I imagined. In my subconsciousness, I expected people around me to change. I expected government to change, university management to change, so I could see a better Indonesia. Many things that I used to take for granted were no longer acceptable when I returned from Australia. This is wrong, that is wrong. Somehow it generated frustration. Then I started to rethink and contemplate. I thought, I cannot complain all the time. And I started to recall the reason why I studied in Australia and why I met bright people like you. The reason is because I am expected to bring the change, not to expect the change from others. This might sound cliche, but it was true then, it is true now, and I believe it will always be true. With that, I started to do small things. Surely it did not change the world, but it certainly gave new colors to my small environment. Gandhi is true that we should be the change that we want to see in the world. Or, in Obama's language, we are the change that we have been waiting for. With the network that we have, we are now stronger to be the change that we want to see. We are no longer only small dots scattered in different places dictated by borders. We are connected dots. While connected, we have our own responsibility in our respective countries. That is what borders are for, to define the extent of responsibility. As Robert Frost said in his poem Mending Wall, good fence makes good neighbors. Or in the language of Benjamin Franklin, love your neighbor, yet do not pull down your hedge. And don't forget, we still live in a village that we are happy to call a global village. Thank you very much.